Kelly, and this is Good Morning Santa Paula. It's Thursday, December 3rd, 2020. We're almost out of that. Thank gosh. Let's hurry that up. And I have with us Santa Paula City Manager Dan Singer, and he's going to update us about various things that are going on with the city and COVID and change of leadership at City Hall. And we've got several items to address today. And thank you so much for joining us today, Dan. Nice seeing you.
My pleasure. Yeah, it's a good day. We moved the council meeting from Wednesday, which is unusual for us, but tonight will be our opportunity to bring in new council members and usher out people that have devoted their time to the city, namely our city treasurer, who's been with the city for some 20 plus years, Sandy Easley. Mm-hmm. And then Clint Garman, whose 4-year term ended, as well as Grace Kelly, who filled in as city clerk for a year after Lucy took a job in Simi Valley. So that'll be nice. And then, of course, we're swearing in 2 new council members. So that's always exciting. A chance for a newcomer, Leslie Cornejo, mm-hmm. to join the council and join the ranks. And then Andy Sobel, who officially got elected, and will be continuing his service because he's been on the council now for 2 years. So
yes, he was appointed, and you're going to also have the selection for the mayor and the vice mayor.
Yep. So here in Santa Paula, as I think most of our citizens know, we rotate our mayors or 1-year terms, and so Rick Ariza, our existing mayor, will be stepping aside, and it's possible that any of the other council members will get a shot, but most likely that our vice mayor, Carlos Juarez, will become mayor for this next year.
Yeah, and of course it's an important post, but it's a largely ceremonial type post, but it does carry a lot of responsibility, and this person is the face of the city, as it were.
And mostly the latter, because in a normal year, at least, not a COVID year, you know, there's a lot of activities in a small community like this, and the mayor is that face, the person who shows up to throw out the first pitch, so to speak, or literally,
yes.
And to be part of various events and activities and invitations and speaking engagements to represent us at regional and statewide activities. So it is an increased responsibility that the mayor has the privilege of holding for that year. And I know that Carlos is quite excited to serve in that capacity, and I'm sure he'll be a great mayor.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I know they had a record turnout in Ventura County. They had a record turnout across the United States. Do we have any, do we have a handle yet on what our voter turnout was in Santa Paula?
It I believe, was a record. The resolution that the council will adopt tonight, which has the final tally of both certified electorate, but then also those that voted and how many votes each candidate got. We'll have that distributed later this afternoon. The reason we moved the meeting from Wednesday to Thursday is because today was the last legal day that the county could give us these numbers. And believe it or not, we only got them today. So, yes. So the council's agenda packet has just a mock draft of that resolution certifying the election results. They'll have the real version though later in the day.
Great, and I'm even going to watch this tonight, because normally when you do have your meetings on Wednesday night, I'm on deadline at the Mighty Santa Paula Times. So I'm really looking forward to it. Now, are you going to have several people in the council chamber? I know you usually all do it Zoom, and I know the majority will be Zoom.
Yeah, we're going to have the mayor and the vice mayor here. Everyone else will be on Zoom and be virtual. You know, it's just not going to have the same pomp and circumstance that it could with large families gathering and cake and Martinelli's to celebrate.
Yes.
But we're trying to make it special, and we have little goodie bags for each of our outgoing and incoming members, as well as some plaques and some recognitions. And I believe that Supervisor Kelly Long will be on to say a few words tonight too.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And this is, of course, your first changing of the guard here.
Yeah.
As city manager. So
big day. So
yeah, big day. There you go. And I might add, Leslie Cornejo was the largest vote getter in the history of the city.
Yeah.
5,000. So that's interesting to the extent that it was wonderful to see how many Santa Paulans registered and voted, and also across Ventura County, and I guess basically the nation. So there you go.
Yeah.
I know that's something that, I would rather stick to really good news. And but anyway, let's address what's been going on with COVID. I know there's been a surge.
Yeah, and unfortunately, very clearly attributable to Thanksgiving Day. The county told us that the soonest we would have numbers related to Thanksgiving would be on Tuesday, which would get reported on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Mm-hmm. We were averaging, I don't know, 120 cases a day this last week, 120 to 150. There was almost 800 cases that were reported on Tuesday. Now, I believe the number today for yesterday is about half that or even lower. Mm-hmm. So that's encouraging. But clearly that spike was attributable to Thanksgiving. The county health director wouldn't come out and say that this morning because he has to go off of proof and facts. But it's quite clear to any average citizen that the gatherings on Thanksgiving have, again, produced that level of increased caseload. And the problem with that is that's prompting the governor to clamp down even further. And so we may be going the way of LA these next few days, if not weeks, to see further restrictions. And I just hate to think that could result in our restaurants literally having to go back to closing. We've so much enjoyed the outdoor dining, and we have such nice weather here that it's nice to be able to do that, see that vibrancy and to support our businesses and see Main Street still alive, even if it's not as well as normal.
Yes, well, they, of course, in LA now, they don't have the outside dining. So
right.
And I know they had it in Pasadena because Pasadena has its own health officer. And then I guess they had such a huge influx of customers
that they pulled back.
They had to go back and not have dining because they just had so many people. And it's been so successful here and people have enjoyed it so much. I really hope that people keep in mind that if they don't wear a mask, they don't wash their hands, they don't social distance, that's going to take things away from all of us.
Yeah,
if they get sick and spread the illness.
So I think the takeaway is that where we're seeing the greatest spread is in households, which makes sense. You're indoors with your loved ones, your family, and those that you associate with, and that's where we really have to try and limit the spread.
Right, and groups, like you said, the groups. I know for Thanksgiving they only wanted people to have 3 other households.
Right.
At a maximum of like 10 or 12 people, and then you see these parties or these gatherings, and now if somebody, let's hypothetical question, if somebody saw a great big huge gathering and nobody there was wearing masks or social distancing, is there anything we can do to shut that down? I mean,
there's certainly an opportunity for the public to contact us. You can call our police department, preferably the non-emergency line, and we will send someone out. We'll go check on the group, see, first of all, see if it's a legitimate complaint or concern, see whether or not those folks are in fact using good judgment and following the rules. And if they're not, we can and will threaten to, kind of break things up or close them down. We haven't had to do that much. When we've gone out to places where there's been gatherings, people have been
sure.
But yes, there is an opportunity for people, if they observe something that they think is concerning, to reach out to us.
Well, I think that for the most part, people have been pretty compliant, but still it's just spreading so much. Not those types of situations, of course, but just in general, what I see on the streets and things like that. And it's just sad that, and Santa Paula has a higher rate, per capita than the cities. So we've got to keep that in mind too.
Yes, we do. So there, it's a difficult time. We're going into holiday season. We're going into more gatherings, more parties, more events, it's so important that those be really limited. Otherwise, we're going to see the extension of this all the way through winter and even spring. And it would just kill our economy.
Absolutely. And it's sad, and everybody misses it, but it's just I guess what was it, Dr. Fauci or somebody said, well, for Thanksgiving, if you don't want to see everybody on Thanksgiving and then be on in the hospital for Christmas. So basically, there's just so much that, and this is if people stop doing that.
Right. That's right. I think that's the key message.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so how's the business community holding up? I know that there's any grants on the horizon or things like that.
The state just announced that they were trying to do some more small business assistance. Mm-hmm. Some of that is by way of deferred tax obligations for like payroll tax. So, it doesn't affect everyone, and not everyone would want to defer. Yes. But I think they're also putting together like a small business loan or grant program. So hopefully that gets rolled out soon, because there's also the expiring at the end of December of other allowances that could really hurt our citizens and our businesses if they're not extended, and if we don't see some further stimulus come from the feds. Mm-hmm. So it's quite concerning. I think our business community is holding up pretty well, but it's fragile. And if we can't get through the holidays, and if we see shut us down, I think a lot of businesses just simply won't survive. And personally, I deem that, and I don't just mean personally, but I think as representatives of the local government and economy, that would be unacceptable to see that happening when in fact the spread of this is because of business existence. So I plan to engage our decision very quickly if the governor is trying to prevent things like outdoor dining, which have not been proven to be where the spread is happening. Yes. So I know the city of Beverly Hills just took this up, and I believe engaged in litigation. I believe that's also been the case with the religious institutions. Mm-hmm. And so we'll let the courts decide whether those are legitimate, exercises of government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think outdoor, if we can keep it outdoors, especially at least now. And I know when they were opening the restaurants, it was and churches, it was just a limited seating. And like you said, they're not showing that these are the spreaders anyway. So, right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, let's hope the coming holiday is brighter somehow. I see where you've got a little touch of holiday going on in your office there.
Yeah, I showed up this morning and an elf was suddenly trying to climb the walls. That's what you see behind me. It says, I think it says rock climbing zone.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I don't know if he'll still be here tomorrow or if he'll climb into someone else's office, but we are trying to celebrate some good cheer. I'll look forward to sharing with you some activities that families can engage in later this month. Our Parks and Rec department are working hard to still do some fun things. This weekend, the Christmas tree farms in town off of Ojai Avenue and next to the train depot will be opening up. We've decorated the depot and turned on lights, and banners will be going up on Main Street. So we're trying to celebrate and have good cheer despite the COVID fear.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. Well, anything you'd like to add?
I'll just share one other good piece of news. When I got here a little over a year ago, the state has done an assessment of all cities in California and had us, I think, ranked number 22 in the state for being kind of in a critical financial position. So this is a top 25 list you don't want to be on, not a list you do want to be on. We've worked really hard to kind of get off of that top 20 list, and I learned just today that we are now ranked 78th in the state, not 22nd.
great.
I'd like to not even be on the top 100, but I'm proud to say that there's now cities in Ventura County that are ranked worse than us.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so we're making really good progress, and I want citizens to be able to take some comfort in how our finances are being handled and how our outlook is here in the community. So
We'll have to do something on that for sure.
yeah.
And also, I guess just for the viewers, there's what, about 547 or 568 counties in the state of California.
482 cities and like 54 counties, I think.
Okay, you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It's in the 400s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, hey, I mean, to be on the it's climbing up all the time.
Yeah, and no longer in the top, 4 or 5% of the, most vulnerable cities.
Absolutely. Do you have any idea how long we've been at that position?
I think it was the first year last year that the state treasurer put this criteria together and did this assessment. And it's based on, what's your level of reserves? What is your dependence on, certain taxes that might be vulnerable? What are your pension obligations? What kind of debt do you have? It was those kinds of factors. So it was kind of a report card on your fiscal health. And we failed miserably. We were getting an F. And so, I say we're basically almost up to a C minus and moving in the right direction at this point.
Yeah, that's quite an improvement. And of course, there's done some very creative things with bonds and refinancing. And I'm sure all that factors into it and saving a lot of money that way. So
it will. And yet I don't think that probably even necessarily hit the screen. So by next year, hopefully we won't even be in the top 100.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, good. Yeah, we'll do something on that, Dan. Okay. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, or?
Just want to wish everyone a good December and a healthy one. I'm sure we'll report back and with some more details in the coming weeks.
Okay, absolutely. And thank you as always. Thank you so much for letting us take part of your day away, as it were.
My pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Peggy Kelly, and this was Good Morning Santa Paula. And if you'd like to watch this, it will be on Spectrum Cable Channel 10, the city channel, and also on KADY TV.net. And when you go to YouTube for that, go ahead and hit subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps us bring you more broadcasting like this. And once again, I'm Peggy Kelly, and everybody out there, wash your hands and stay 6 feet apart, and try and always wear your face mask, and together we can do something about this. Okay. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.